Welcome to Spark. Today we're going to focus on the unrest in some Latin American countries, including Bolivia, Ecuador, Chile, and Argentina. While most of the rallies of those countries have been peaceful, some of them have escalated into violent clashes, acts of vandalism, arson attacks, and looting. So what are the causes of these protests and riots, and what are the latest developments? Today, we invited our colleague Michael Chick to join us in the studio. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, Michael, please.
Yeah, sure, thank you.
So they say that there's no smoke without fire. So what are the reasons leading to these protests, and what are the exact pulling trigger?
According to local media reports, the protests were triggered by several reasons. In Chile, it was an increase in the subway fare. In Ecuador, it was a cancellation of fuel subsidies, while in Bolivia, it was a disputed election where former President Evo Morales claimed that he had won. On the other hand, in Colombia, it was the government's planned labor and pension reforms. However, all these unrests share a common ground. Economic issues have played a significant role in widespread dissatisfaction, as South American countries have seen weakened economic indicators over the past years. Many are facing low GDP increases, high unemployment, and a lack of access to education, healthcare, and pensions.
But we know that Chile is one of the richest nations in Latin America. However, it is still suffering from those sustained rebellion. And why is that?
Actually, Chile is experiencing a decline in its economic outlook. More importantly, the region needs to address the issue of inequality, an area to which more attention needs to be paid too. According to the latest report titled Social Panorama of Latin America 2019, released by the United Nations Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, approximately 185 million people lived below the poverty threshold in 2018. Of these, 66 million people experienced extreme poverty. In 2019, that number is expected to reach 191 million, of whom 72 million are forecast to be living in extreme poverty.
So in essence, the people there are calling for equality and better lives. So has the protest led to any satisfying results so far, the people getting what they want already?
Not really, and it looks like things are becoming even more chaotic. For example, incidents of unrest in Bolivian cities have forced Bolivia's president to resign and left over 30 people dead and hundreds injured. The unrest has also led to food shortages and price hikes. In Ecuador, economic paralysis from street protests is costing the country $70 million a day, a situation that is likely to fuel even more public discontent the longer it continues. Chile even suspended hosting this year's APEC leaders meeting and an important global climate change conference. Clearly, the riots and violence has already taken a heavy toll on these nations.
Thank you, Michael. That's very insightful. Thank you very much. So now let's turn to another expert, Marvin Aguila, to see what he has to say about this issue.
One of the economic problems is the cost of living. People can't make their money last until the end of the month. It's one of the big problems in the region. This is related to the other big problem, which is jobs. So what the current generation, what Latin American societies are demanding is that they have jobs, but decent jobs, not slave jobs.
It has affected us because these violent groups burn the subway. I can't use the subway station and I have to walk more. In some regions, they have burned supermarkets. People have trouble buying their products.
All destroyed. I have nowhere to buy. Getting home is terrible. I live here, in these buildings, and you have to cross between tear gas, bullets anyway. It is terrible what is happening.
I think that everything that's happening nowadays socially in Latin America, well, it's a wake-up call that is happening in all countries.
So, Michael, given all of the factors above, do you think it's so safe for travelers to visit those countries?
Fortunately, some countries like Argentina and Brazil are still peaceful and almost free from such turmoil.
I want to invite tourists to Argentina. Argentina is peaceful, and Buenos Aires is very suitable for travelers.
Argentine beef is of excellent quality. Sometimes you could enjoy even more delicious beef on the farm.
In my opinion, the northern parts could best represent Argentina, as there are very warm-hearted people, aromatic spices, delicious food and wine, and beautiful sceneries.
So we know that social stability is crucial to every country, both to its people and to its economy.
Social stability is the cornerstone of any harmonious society. Let's hope that these countries can resolve their economic and administrative problems soon so that peace will be restored and more people could visit these places. You must remember that these are beautiful countries with very beautiful people.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
So, thank you for being with us for today's show. We're going to see you next time.
Bienvenidos. 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 Bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos.
Bye-bye.